Are you going to the theme parks this summer? Don't worry. We've got some tips, tricks, and hacks to help you save money. Hi, welcome to Broke Teachers Travel Podcast. I'm Marnie.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're going to help you save some money today. What's the first tip you have?
The first tip is, unlike some of my students, some of the time, do your research, okay? Always research where you're going. Research the travel plan, research kind of what you're going to do when you get there. And the big thing, tickets, hotels, things like that. But kind of have a plan, because there's nothing like getting there and something going sideways to kind of put a rain cloud on your vacation.
Yeah, make sure those tickets actually come from the venue that you will be visiting, because it is very easy to get ripped off that way.
And, that's something that we both experienced when we worked at Disney, is people come in and, hey, if they're selling Disney tickets out of the back of a pickup truck on I-4, do not buy those, okay?
You might want to question that.
You might want to do that, okay? Because all the Disney and magic in the world is not going to get those tickets refunded for you, okay? So make sure that it's legit from the place that you're visiting.
Yes, and please excuse any thunder you hear in the background. It's storming. Okay, for all of you teachers, check to see if you get in free at the different venues. And yes, that is a thing. We will be posting some YouTube shorts on our channel in the next week or so about different places where teachers actually get in free, and you're going to be surprised at how many there are.
I know that we've used a couple of them in the past, and it's been really, really cool. Again, especially teachers, we know we all work on a budget.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, and
this is a good one.
Okay, this is a good one. Does an annual pass make sense? Sometimes they can save you a huge amount of money. Again, if for us, we're Florida residents, and we still live 6 hours from Disney. So, if we only go down there 1 or 2 times a year, we probably break even. But if we go down, like when our kids were younger, every other weekend or something, it really makes all the sense in the world to do an annual pass. Other places have annual passes. I know Universal has them. And again, sometimes it's just like 1 or 2 days can actually make up the price for an entire annual year.
Yeah, and make sure you check if you're a resident of the state where the theme park is located. They may offer you special discounts. I know Disney has Florida resident discounts. Universal has Florida resident discounts. So check and see whichever theme park you're visiting if they offer them as well.
I was talking to one of my friends from Texas, and I know that a couple of the theme parks out there in Texas offer discounts to teachers as well.
It can be a huge savings. Another thing to think about is parking fees. They can be very expensive. Some of them are getting upwards of $30, $35 a day. See if you get free parking by staying on property or in designated hotels that are associated with the theme park. That can be a big money saver. It can be huge. It can save you over $100 if you're there for a week.
Again, whenever you book, realize that in a lot of these theme park areas, there's going to be a resort fee, and sometimes that could be 10 to 15% on top of that, and then
per day.
Yeah, per day. And then I know, like, some of the hotels, when we go to Disney, one of the things that we have to look at is who does have that free parking, because make sure for the hotel reservations that you look and make sure that it is free parking. Now, for a while, what was the deal with the Disney parking?
For a while, they charged for parking at the resorts, but they have done away with that again, thankfully, because that was a deal breaker for a lot of people, because it got very expensive to even stay on property. Staying there is expensive enough, but when you add parking fees on top of that, it just gets to be too much, and you can't afford that. It's not doable for us. We couldn't handle the parking fees on top of the resort fees, on top of the price of the resort. It's a lot. So I'm glad they rethought that.
Are we going to talk later on about using the shuttles from the different places?
Oh, that is a good idea. Yeah, if you're staying in a designated hotel, a lot of them have shuttles back and forth to the parks, especially if you're in like the area surrounding the theme park. So just ask at the hotel if they offer something, but do know that with those shuttles, you are going to be on their time schedule. If it's not an affiliated hotel, you're going to be on their time schedule, and it may not be normal park hours.
But it's also awesome that, if you have to park and pay $20 a day, $25 at some places, if you stay at the hotel, take the shuttle, and you're staying there 4 or 5 days, so you could see that it could save you, hundreds of dollars that you could spend on other stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. Food, souvenirs, whatever you want. This is one we've done lots of times.
Actually, we still do this in our
We
own
do it a
lives.
lot.
We did it last night,
Yes,
actually.
we did.
And that's we share meals.
We do.
Okay, so one of the things about theme parks, along with those huge prices, the portions of food are usually pretty good size,
Yeah.
and so sometimes just order something and split it and share it. There's not a big issue with that. We used to do that with the dining plan, with the quick service dining plan.
Yeah, the quick service. We would split meals. I mean, we would still end up using all of the meals throughout the week, but we would, in the heat in Florida, it gets to be so much. You just don't want a huge meal. So it's easier to split something. And like we said, the portions at theme parks are usually huge. So sharing is definitely an option to think about.
And that's one of the things when you think about it, if you get really, really full, you're less likely to be moving around, want to do the roller coasters, things like that. So, just don't fill up too much.
Yeah,
and
maybe save your big meal for nighttime.
Right.
Another thing to think about is see if the water is free at the quick service restaurants. Again, I know we keep referencing Disney, but we know Disney. That's where, we've spent the majority of our time.
Right.
But it is free at Disney, and I'm sure other theme parks offer the same service. Just ask. And a lot of times they use the filtered water through the soda machines. So just ask for a cup of ice water, and a lot of times it will be free. And you can mix a drink packet in it or just drink the water like it is, and just be sure to stay hydrated because it is hot.
And see, there's no reason for Dad to have to, or as we called some of our kids sometimes, the family pack mule, that there's no need to have to carry 5 or 6 or 7 bottles of water with you. That is heavy.
No,
so
it is very heavy.
Drink it, take the empty bottle, go up to the restaurant or the quick service and ask for it. I'm not sure. I know some theme parks have actually have the
water stations.
Yeah, that's
Disney has a few of them too.
That's the motion for that thing that you put it under. I don't know.
I knew what you meant. I knew where we were going.
This no more, but this is it. Okay, so that's.
Yeah, that can be a big money saver because drinks are expensive. Most of them are well over $2 or $3 a piece, even at just a normal McDonald's now.
All right. Speaking of sharing, this is the jet travel hack that I still do. Ask for a cup of ice. Then the next person asks for a soda with no ice. You pour them in there, pour it back in there, play mad scientist for a minute, and really, it pretty much is 2 sodas for the price of 1. So.
Yeah, because the ice takes up most of the room there, displaces everything. So, yeah, and the soda out of the fountains is already cool. So you don't necessarily have to have ice. And if you get little or no ice, you're getting a lot more soda for your money, or whatever drink you're drinking, you're getting a lot more of it.
Absolutely.
Now, another thing is sharing. We're talking about sharing again. Sharing
We're
a
teachers.
kid's...
You're supposed to share.
Yes, we do. Sharing is caring. Share a kid's meal as a snack. The kids' meals at most theme parks, like we said again, portions are huge. So a kid's meal could be divided between a couple of people as a snack, an afternoon snack. So take advantage of that. You can get something a little different that way. Maybe everybody gets a nugget or 2 and some fries, something like that. Usually it comes with a fruit or something. So it's a great snack to think about.
I'm not going to call out the one place that my daughter, she'll be listening, she knows that we called it Valley Forge because we thought that there was going to be enough to share, and there was like 4 fries and 2 pieces of chicken. So as a history teacher, it's Valley Forge because they didn't have anything to eat either. We didn't either. So make sure, like Marnie said, usually they are large portions, not always. So
just kind of, you can gauge it.
Right.
And you've got a good one here.
Oh yeah. Check and see about kids, and if kids get in free, or if there's some sort of discount or something, and what age the kids are allowed to get in free. Because I know if some places do, and then there's a certain age from X age to Y age that they could actually get in at a discount. Now, one of the things, if it's close, that's one thing. But we've heard tales when we worked at Disney of people trying to, have kids that were 10 or 11 years old, pushing them in with the strollers, and the kids, foot was bigger than mine. Okay. So again, try not to do that. But, the idea is that, especially at places like Disney, it's about the kids. It's about the fun and things like that. But so they do have that graduated,
yeah, from I think 3 to 10 is a discounted ticket. 3 and under is free, or up to 3. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, there are some discounts available for children, and other parks do it as well. So just check to see what their policy is, and you can save some money that way too.
And one of the things, make sure that you go to their website, okay? Not somebody, because a lot of times I know with search engines, this happens all the time. I was looking at something today, and it took me to, an affiliate or, somebody else. Make sure it is, Universal. Make sure it's Disney. Make sure it's Wild Adventures. Make sure that those are the people, and then you can scroll there and you can look at their policies for whatever.
Yeah, because you can get some dangerous territory there as far as you get to the park and your ticket's not good, or they won't honor the site and what they've said. The rules are listed differently or something. So just be very careful.
And guys, it is heartbreaking, because Marnie and I, we were both greeters at the park, and we saw this happen, almost on a daily basis, that somebody would come in and the ticket wouldn't scan, and they had bought it here, or they'd done things like that. Not to say that they're not reputable places that you can buy from, but I would definitely, I'm a cheapskate, and I love my money. So one of the things you always check out is, ratings and reviews on companies if you do decide to buy one of those discounted tickets or something.
And speaking of discounts, consider buying your souvenirs at legitimate outlet centers, especially if you're going to Disney. I know they have a specific one. There's one on Vineland Road down there at the outlet center. And it is legitimate. Everything you buy there is authentic Disney merchandise. And sometimes on some stuff it doesn't matter, but like if you're pin trading, that matters. And you can get pins at a discount there. So that's a great place to pick some up.
I'm a big pin collector. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. And to tell you the difference at these outlet centers, in the park, you're going to pay anywhere between $10 to $15 per Disney pin. At the at the outlet, you could sometimes get them as cheap as $1, $2, things like that. So we'll do another episode on just Disney pin trading at some point.
I think we could handle that. I think we've done it a time or two.
Once or twice.
Yeah. But yeah, do consider going to the outlet to buy some of your souvenirs. A lot of it can even be the same merchandise that is in the parks at the moment. I have seen that. And it's not all old. Some of it is, a few months old, but hey, it's still the same merchandise that came from the parks.
And sometimes I think what ends up happening, which is kind of cool, is that if Disney will come out with a movie, and if you've got young kids, you probably don't go see it in the theater. You wait for it to come out. And that is the time that they're kind of getting the stuff into the outlets. And so, the first time that you have the kid seeing it on it's not VHS or streaming. That's what it is.
Streaming.
Okay. So, it kind of coincides with that. I know that we have a Disney store up where we live.
One of the few that's left.
And I still buy Disney, Marnie hates it when I go in there, because I'm going to spend money. That's just how that works. And so
they know us by name when we go in there.
They do. But, again, if there's something you want to order online, sometimes I know that some of those places have, different codes sometimes at different times of the year with discounts. You can order it, have it sent, to your house. And so when you get back, hey, look, oh my gosh, look what Mickey sent you or something like that.
Here's a tip. You can also have things delivered to your hotel.
If you buy it in the parks, right? Or is that...
Well, yeah, if you buy it in the parks, you can absolutely have your stuff sent back to the hotel. But if you buy things like on Amazon, you can have it shipped to your hotel. And surprise,
oh, Lord,
it's in the room waiting for them when they get back.
Okay, Amazon. Oh, okay, go ahead. All right, moving on.
Moving on. This is one that we've talked about before.
If they allow you to, bring your own snacks in. Again, don't carry, pounds and pounds of things in there.
It gets heavy.
But for like kids, if they have their backpacks or their little backpacks or whatever, hey, just put a little snack, a water bottle in there, and once it's gone, everything gets a lot lighter. What you don't want is anybody in the party to be miserable carrying around huge amounts of snacks and things like that. Again, going back to using our Ziploc bags, if we have our Ziplocs, we put a sandwich in there. We used to go to Quiznos or Subway or somewhere like that, and we would actually just, take it. We wouldn't eat it there because we were going to eat it a little bit later.
Or eat part of it and then save the other half.
Yeah, and so there's just a lot of ways to do that. But again, you want to have fun, you want to save money, but there's a happy medium in there.
Yeah, because like you said, that stuff, it does get heavy when you're carrying it from place to place, especially if you're in the South with all the heat and humidity. It gets to be a lot throughout the day.
And, I've actually seen, people carry those backpacks that are ice chest, and those things are heavy.
They're convenient. They're convenient to keep your stuff cool, but they are heavy. And remember, these places have lockers too. You can rent a locker for the day and then just go back and forth to it as you need to. I've always found that that's quite a trek sometimes, but it's doable if you want to do a whole meal that way, like bring some sandwiches or something, pop it in the locker, make sure your cooler's small enough to fit in one, pop it in there, go back for lunch, and then, spread out again after lunch and hit all the attractions. But I think that's going to do it for this week for saving money at theme parks. And next week, we are going to talk about saving money when traveling domestically.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I always like to save money. So.
We do like to save money around here.
We're broke enough, so
yeah.
Maybe we should be called broker teachers, so I don't know.
Exactly. But we will see you guys next time. Remember, break the monotony.
Not the bank.
Bye, guys.
Have a good weekend.